Hey guys, today I want to play with this antenna. This is a Radioddity HF-008. This is a multi-band mobile antenna. They sent me this antenna along with the Raddy 919 radio, that crazy multi-band radio that goes up to 999 megahertz. But this antenna, this one is for 3 megahertz to 50 megahertz. And we're going to play with this today, and we're going to experiment with an antenna analyzer, and we're going to see just how well this antenna will tune in on all the different bands. They sent a chart along with the antenna that tells you exactly how to assemble the antenna for different frequencies. That wire on the floor there, that goes into the holes that are on that fat section of the antenna. You plug it into that bottom hole and then wrap it around and plug it into whichever hole is needed for the frequency that you're going to work with. For 3 megahertz, the wire is not attached at all. I already have the short upper section. Well, that one's already set for 27 megahertz. I haven't really played with it much yet, but I did set up the antenna so that I can quickly try it on 27 megahertz. Because this antenna is also, it's not only for receiving, it's for transmitting too. It will do, you can put 100 watts into it on CW, and on sideband, it'll take up to 200 watt peak on sideband. So let's put this thing together, and actually let me show you around it a little bit first. Like I told you, we have the two separate top mast sections. They both have their screw-on. I'm not sure why they sent two of the screw-ons, because I mean, you could just undo the little set screw and slide the antenna into them, but you got an extra one just in case. It has the middle section, which is this one here. These screw into that middle section, and it's hollow, so the excess on this part of the antenna just slips right inside of that one. Then that one screws onto the top of this section, and then this section screws onto the nice 3-magnet mount base that they sent. That has a PL259 on the end of the coax, and it has an SO239 on the center of the mount. The bottom of the antenna, well, that looks just like a PL259, doesn't it? If that camera will focus. There we go. So that just screws right onto that base. I did discover, and I didn't see it on their website, but I had discovered that if you remove this stainless steel section at the bottom of the antenna, there is a 3/8 by 24 count thread stud right at the base of this. It's a standard 3/8 24 stud. So this can be put on a mirror mount bracket. It can be put on a ball mount. It's a pretty nice antenna. It's a universal setup, so you can put it on any of the modern mag mounts, or you can just remove that and use the 3/8 stud. The mag mount comes with rubber boots to put underneath the magnets to protect your paint job. Comes with the wire that, like I told you, gets wrapped around the antenna. They also sent the Allen wrench to loosen up the top section to adjust it. All right, I'm going to put this thing together, and we're going to test it out first on 3 megahertz. So I have the antenna all assembled and up on the roof of my car, and I have it set by the factory settings to 27 megahertz, the 11 meter band. I'm a CBer, of course. I'm going to start out with the 27 megahertz. I know I said I was going to go to 3 megahertz first, but hey, I'm already set up for 27. So here we go. Let's check it out on the analyzer. All right, well, on 27 megahertz, we have 1.65, 1.7, man, 26 ohms. Let's go up. I'm never down on 27 megahertz anyway. Let's go up to where I would actually use that antenna. And on channel 38, well, 37 and a half. We have 1.48 on the SWR and 41 ohms of resistance. Very usable. I could hook my CB radio right up to that right now. My Anytone Quad 6 is in the car. All right, let's readjust that antenna and try it on other frequencies. I brought out the chart, the paperwork that comes with that antenna. You can see I got my scribblings on there just so that it's easier for me. I know the standard system, not the metric system. But we're going to change that. I'm going to now set it up for 3 megahertz. As you see, it lists 3.5, 3.6, 3.7, and it's the same length for all, and the wire is disconnected on all. So let's set it to that and see how it does for 3 megahertz. So I've adjusted the antenna, and as you can see, down on 3.5 megahertz, the SWR is pretty good. I guess that thing really can and is adjustable. It is definitely a multi-band antenna for sure. We have now tried it on 3 megahertz and on 27 megahertz, and we got acceptable readings on both frequencies. So let's try for some more. I'm going to try and we'll probably put it up to, oh, I don't know, let's try 50 megahertz. Let's see what happens up at 50 megahertz. I did not adjust the top width on it. I left it the same length as I had it for 27 megahertz, and for that matter for 3 megahertz too. So for 3 megahertz, 27 megahertz, and now I moved the wire. For 3 megahertz there was no wire. 27 megahertz, the wire was attached at the bottom hole and the second hole down from the top. Now it's attached to the top hole and the bottom hole. And I have it tuned at, I probably just whipped you right around here quick, didn't I? At 48 megahertz. That's without adjusting the whip. We have a 1.12 and 50 ohms of resistance. So with the antenna set the way I have it, by just moving the wire, by taking the wire off or moving the top hole down to the second to the top hole, I can get 3 megahertz, 27 megahertz, and 48 megahertz. It's a pretty cool antenna. We're going to try it out. I don't think I need to really go through all of the bands that are listed because it's tuned on the top, it's tuned on the bottom, it's tuned in the middle. We can just, you can see all the frequencies and bands that this antenna can be tuned to. I'm going to try it now. I'm going to try out on CB radio. I'm going to do a transmit test. I'm going to compare the performance of this antenna versus the CB antenna I normally have up on the roof of my car, which when I put that back on after removing this one, I'll show you what the antenna is that I run on there. All right, let's get to that testing. Let's get some real world results, see how it performs. I have the radio set on channel 20. I'm going to key up the mic and see what how the radio likes it. 1.3 to 1 SWR, very acceptable. All right, it's ready for the road test. So I'm going to take the car for a drive, and Barbara is going to operate my radio in the house, and we're going to talk to her using both antennas. This HF antenna, hold on, I'll bring you out there. First we'll be hooked up to this antenna, and then I'll have my homemade antenna. Let me bring that out and show you. And this is the antenna that I'll be comparing that HF antenna to. I know it's not a very fair comparison because this antenna is made for the 11 meter band. And this one, well, this one is made for 3 to 50 megahertz. So I don't expect it to do as well as that antenna, but I just want to see how it compares to my homemade one. Alrighty, I got the camera going, and now let's see what you're giving me for a signal. We can see on my camera that, right now we have a 1.7, 1.8 match on this antenna, which it's a little high, but hey, it's acceptable. It'll work. Alrighty, I got the camera going, and now let's see what you're giving me for a signal. We can see on my camera that, right now we have a 1.7, 1.8 match on this antenna, which it's a little high, but hey, it's acceptable. It'll work.
Well, that's good. It looks pretty good on my end.
Alrighty, so I'm going to just give a dead key for a second. I'm not going to say a word just to get a signal reading. Alright, we got a signal reading. I'm going to go outside and I'm going to switch out that antenna and I'm going to put my CB antenna back on the car. Alrighty, so I'm going to just give a dead key for a second. I'm not going to say a word just to get a signal reading. Alright, we got a signal reading. I'm going to go outside and I'm going to switch out that antenna and I'm going to put my CB antenna back on the car.
Alright, well, you're giving me a 9 on this end, so go ahead and switch that out and let's see how we do with the next one.
Alrighty, I'm on my other antenna now, which we can see on my screen because we have a dead flat match, 1.0. How's it sounding over there? Alrighty, I'm on my other antenna now, which we can see on my screen because we have a dead flat match, 1.0. How's it sounding over there?
It sounds fantastic. You give me the same 9 plus a little bit on that antenna, and you're sounding fantastic.
Alrighty, well, I guess we got enough. Alright, I'm going to head back home and try and put this video together. Miss Barbara, I thank you so much.
As always, you're welcome, and hurry on home. I miss you.
Well, there they are. They're both up on the roof right now just to end this video. Honestly, I couldn't see much of a difference at all between the two antennas. Receive was about the same. Transmit was about the same. That is a really nice antenna. It's a Radioddity HF-008. Check it out on Radioddity's website. I'll put a link in the description to both the antenna and the base for it, that magnetic base. All right, guys, I thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.